Alright, I've put together our tier list, and no matter what is said in this video, somebody's gonna be like, that's off somewhere! Alright, to the 30% of you that have not smashed the living crap out of that subscribe button, smash it so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. Now, a full disclaimer here, there's going to be a lot to take in here, and we're going to try to go as quickly as possible here. So Gate Guardian, I had to put this on here for my hopium here, strictly because of the fact that I really, really like this guy. Is the support good? It's meh. Alright, it doesn't stop me from wanting to build my character deck, that's for sure. Abyss Actors I'm also going to put down here in meh. Do keep in mind that Abyss Actor, I think, can do something. It's not necessarily impossible for them to do something, if that makes sense. Like, it's more like a roguish pick, but it's not really performed up to the standard that I would really want to see. But that doesn't mean you can't win a locals with this. You have a better chance of winning with Abyss Actors than you do with Gate Guardian, that's for sure. Now we're going to put Branded up here in very early tier 1. Now the reason for this is because we've had high representation across the board, but on the regional level this deck is kind of struggling at certain points. Expulsion is going to be the main way that this deck is going to get a lot of its free wins, but that is still kind of opening up some issues that this deck is kind of facing here at the end of the day. But in terms of sheer representation for week 1, week 2 here, week 3 as well, it's very important to kind of see where we're heading with this. So we are leading the pack here. Blackwings, we're going to temporarily put this down here in meh. It doesn't mean that this deck has not had success. It's done a lot. I also want to put Pure Sprite up here in 1.5. Now the reason why we're putting Sprite up here is Sprite's kind of started to have time to wake up. And at least in the pure variant, I'll talk about the Tri-Brigade variant and the Gishki variants later on here. But right now, for the pure variant, it is doing okay. It's definitely way ahead of where tier 2, where you would really expect it to be now. I also am going to put the Naturia does Naturia Runic deserve to be in tier 2? Or is it we'll put it in, it's like truly like 1.75. It's a very good top contender. It tears through a lot of the competition, that's for sure, but you don't really see it doing a lot right now. I also want to put Dinosaurs up here in the solid rogue category. I'm going to be completely honest with you here. We've seen Dinosaur tear through a lot of the competition in this format. A lot of players are not very sure of how to handle this deck right now. And it really says something right now that Dinosaurs are really getting the chance to solidly make boards and have players not know how to handle them. I also am going to put Trap Tricks into tier 2 here. Now, I don't really think that this deck is on the tier 1 scale, at least via representation. Alright, I want to point that out. Doesn't mean that you don't see Pack going through locals here and tearing through, you know, the competition. That's not the case. Alright, there will always be all sorts of rule breaking to this. But at this point in time, I think we're up to 2-ish regional tops at this stage. So I want to see more time for this. The other thing that's punishing this deck right now is Denko Sekka has torn into the format right now. Like, Denko Sekka has been the main reason why you're seeing less Labyrinth numbers and less Trap Tricks at this point in time. And here, we'll put Labyrinth up here. Labyrinth is both of these decks are suffering from the same problem right now, and it is Denko Sekka once again woke up, and as Denko's kind of doing its thing back here on the back end of the format. I know people don't want to hear this, but it is affecting these decks. Overall, this build is still better than this, but that's what you're looking at right now with the problems that these two decks are kind of starting to face. Mathmech. So I hate to tell you this, but Mathmech now has more representation in terms of tops than Labyrinth. I think we are at 6 to 7 regional tops for Mathmech right now. Thank you, format. I'm very happy to see that. That really warms my heart here, that this deck is just getting so much more love right now. Like, this is good. I'm also going to put the Gishki variant of this deck in tier 2 via Sprite. actually kind of hilarious, actually, because this variant of the deck feels better than the Gishki variant, and that's saying something. But it's not entirely bad, because this is still functioning. It has not had a lot of tops, but that's why it's kind of floating down here. Ninja. So this is interesting, because dinosaurs now have tops. Ninja do not have tops. But that hasn't stopped this deck from kind of showcasing itself as like a rogue contender right now. And I think that's kind of something very interesting to consider at the end of the day here, is like the power that you're kind of getting off of this deck. One, people don't know the matchups, and two, it's still very, very strong. Captain Sargass. You know, we're going to put this down here in meh. Unfortunately, this deck just has not performed. I really wanted to give this deck, the benefit of the doubt here and be like, hey, you can do something. Truthfully, it should probably be up here in Rogue, but it's just kind of where we're sitting right now. Boy, Pendulums. In a format where your opponent can lock your zones. Doesn't mean that the deck is necessarily bad, but one zone lock and you're kind of picking your cards up and you're calling it a day, unfortunately. That's just kind of the struggle out here. Drytron I'm also going to put down here in Rogue. This deck is doing things as well right now. It's been semi-successful with the variations that it has had, and that's been kind of nice. We're also going to put Dogmatica in here as well. This is like the Albazoa deck. Albazoa's been doing a couple things. It's kind of strange, actually, that Albazoa, of all things, is kind of woken up. I'm also going to put Flonderies in here in Tier 2. It's not, the crazy variation of the deck that it once was, but, like, this is still something. Like, the loss of the barrier statue did hurt, but this deck is still doing things. Sky Striker still is going in the Rogue category. This deck it's actually done a couple of things. Is that, like, worth noting? I mean, it's actually done quite a lot right now. Oh gosh, Galaxy Eyes. We're gonna put that right there. That's where that belongs. Generator I'm also gonna put into the Rogue category. I guess placement doesn't really matter. Generator has had some really cool Rogue shenanigans out here. And it hasn't topped a regional yet, but, like, this has been actually kind of cool to follow this deck's track record, this format. And just, like, seeing the ideas and things that players are bringing to the table with this is pretty good. Dark World, I'm also going to put down here in Rogue. As much as you might not want to hear this, this deck it's actually topped a regional now at this point. Actually hilarious to see that. But I still think that you need to be aware of what the deck does at the end of the day. And honestly, it is a pretty decent contender for a Rogue. Machina has not done anything this format. I'm actually going to bump this down to meh. It does not mean that Earthbox is dead. It just, at the current iteration of where it is, it's not performing. Dragon Link for Lubellion. We're going to put this here. Just because you still need to be aware of it. And that's a big thing. I don't want to do it completely dirty yet and toss it into Rogue. We're getting places here. Minkonko is fine. This deck is falling off the face of the planet. Like, we'll put Minkonko back here in Rogue. Like, it's actually very sad to see this deck's real fall from grace here. Plunder Patrol. Now this is, man, this is an interesting one. Honestly, this deck is still pretty okay, but it hasn't really... We'll come back to this. Punk. So, man, this is interesting. So, Punk has garnered a lot of attention right now. I don't know if I want to put it in like 1.75 or if I want to put it in 2. Because the Punk package itself has really turned a lot of heads right now. A lot of people, the fact that you can toggle up, make really big synchro plays with this, has really got a lot of people off guard. And it's definitely returned. I'm going to put it at like 1.75 here. Just as like a little bit of a placeholder. Purely needs another set. We'll come back to you later. You already know Kashtira has the biggest representation right now across the board for all events. The deck is losing a lot of prowess, though. Players are really drawing the outs against this, which is turning into an issue. This goes all the way back here. And same thing with this board deck. Crystal Beast, we'll put in Rogue. It's had a little bit of success, but it's not too much. I also want to put, I think that Scareclaw Kashtira is a very scary deck. Do not underestimate this deck. Like, this deck is doing some pretty decent things out here. Sword Soul, I'm also going to put up here. Sword Soul's done a decent amount of things this format, all over the place, actually. Same thing with, this is going to represent, like, all the plant variations. You've had Rika, and then you've had Sun Avalon variants doing things, so don't discount that. I also am going to put the Tri-Brigade variant of this up here, because Tri-Brigade Sprite has done a decent amount of things. It's just kind of like a more reduced package, but has actually been working out. Virtual World, I guess we'll put into Rogue. We'll put Hugin and Friends up here as well. It's falling off. It's losing a lot. Valence has gone down to mess status. Sadly, as much as I like that deck. Hero, we're gonna put into Rogue. This deck is getting the chance to shine. Same thing here with Borbo Turbo. We'll put in Rogue, and we'll also put Plunder Patrol up here in Rogue as well. I don't really need to say anything about these three. I mean, like, these three are pretty much what you would really expect out here. But that's, honestly, I think that's what we're looking at here for the format so far. So, what do you guys think? Please leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I will see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Peace out. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.